This tree was already standing before the Great Pyramid of Giza was finished, before Rome had its first emperor, before most of humanity even knew how to write. Halfway across the world, in a forest in Utah, there's a living thing even older. Older than any civilization we can still remember by name. When the last ice age hadn't yet ended, when humans were still migrating across continents looking for a place to settle, this organism was already there. What is the oldest living thing you have ever stood next to? 100-year-old tree in the park? An ancient house? Most of us have never truly stood beside anything older than a few centuries. But there are organisms out there that have lived not just through generations or dynasties, but through civilizations that have crumbled and vanished. The list of Earth's oldest living things is actually much longer than this video, including bacteria and single-celled organisms whose true age science still debates. But in this video, we will explore the organisms you can actually visit, stand next to, touch, or take a photo with as a memory. 7 destinations, 7 organisms, from an arid forest in America to a small churchyard in Wales to the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where to find each organism, which season to go, and what to prepare. Let's begin with the tree believed to be the oldest in the world, hidden somewhere in a California forest. 1. Methuselah, California, USA. This is perhaps the harshest place a tree could choose to grow. The limestone soil is almost devoid of nutrients. The wind blows year-round. An altitude of over 3,000 meters makes the air thin and freezing. But that very harshness is the reason why this place is home to one of the oldest known living organisms. It sounds paradoxical, but for the bristlecone pine, living in terrible conditions is the secret to longevity. Nutrient-poor soil forces the tree to grow extremely slowly. The wood, therefore, becomes highly dense and low in resin, making it nearly immune to pests and fungi, things that usually kill other tree species. If you look closely at an old bristlecone, you will notice this. Most of the trunk is dead and dry, leaving only a thin strip of bark alive, running from the roots up to a few branches at the top. The entire tree is practically dead, except for that one slender lifeline. Scientists call this the strip bark strategy, sacrificing almost the entire body to focus all energy on keeping a small remaining part alive. And the name bristlecone itself comes from the small, sharp prickles that grow on the scales of its cones. There is a memorable story about this species. In 1964, a researcher accidentally cut down a bristlecone tree to take core samples for study. Only later did they determine that the tree just cut, named Prometheus, was nearly 5,000 years old. It might have been the oldest tree ever known. That lesson remains entirely valuable to this day. If you want to see these trees with your own eyes, you need to visit the ancient bristlecone pine forest, located within the Inyo National Forest, about a 2.5-hour drive along winding mountain roads from the town of Bishop, California. One thing to keep in mind, the forest sits at an altitude of over 3,000 meters. If you are not used to high altitudes, you should spend at least a day letting your body adjust before heading up, especially if you are traveling with older family members. The best time to visit is from late spring to early autumn. In winter, snow can cause the road into the forest to be closed completely. And here is an interesting detail. The Methuselah tree, the one believed to be the oldest in this forest, has no name tag. If you walk along the Methuselah trail, you will likely pass right by it, but you will never know exactly which tree it is. At this very moment, you could be standing right next to the oldest tree in the world without ever knowing it. And perhaps that is exactly what makes this place so special. To Pando, Utah, USA. Viewed from above, this looks like just an ordinary forest. 47,000 tree trunks, tall and straight, their leaves turning a brilliant yellow every autumn. But this is not a forest. This is a single living organism. All 47,000 trunks you see share one single root system underground. Genetically, they are a single individual, weighing an estimated 6,000 tons. This is considered the heaviest known living organism on Earth, and its age could be up to 80,000 years. The name Pando in Latin means I spread or I extend, a name that accurately describes how this organism took over an entire valley. Although it has existed for tens of thousands of years, Pando's secret was only recently discovered by humans. For a long time, people viewed it merely as a normal cluster of trees. It was not until the early 1990s, through genetic testing, that scientists shockingly realized all of these trunks share the exact same DNA, growing from the very same root. While the Methuselah tree in California chose the strip bark strategy, sacrificing parts of its own body to sustain life, Pando chose a completely different secret to longevity: surviving through fire. In this region, wild forest fires are inevitable. When flames burn down the entire tree structure above ground, many would think the forest is dead. But in reality, the heart of Pando, its massive root system hidden deep underground, remains completely safe and unharmed. As soon as the ashes cool, that root system reactivates its energy, simultaneously sending up shoots and growing tens of thousands of new trunks. Fire cannot kill Pando. It only helps this organism shed an old skin. However, the organism that conquered both wildfires and time is now struggling due to a tiny imbalance in the ecosystem. Because of the absence of natural predators like wolves or cougars, the local deer population has grown out of control. They flood into the forest and eat up every single newly emerged young shoot. As the old trunks fall due to age, Pando cannot nurture the succeeding generation, causing this entire great network to gradually fall into a state of decline. Unlike the hidden and hard-to-find Methuselah tree, Pando is much easier to access. It is located in the Fish Lake National Forest, Utah, right near Fish Lake, one of the area's most beautiful autumn viewing spots. The road in is quite convenient. Cars can drive straight into the heart of the forest on smooth paved roads, making it highly suitable for the leisurely pace of older travelers. The ideal time to visit is from late September to early October, when the leaves simultaneously turn a brilliant lemon yellow under the autumn's sun. You can easily include this destination in a longer road trip around Utah's other famous national parks, such as Bryce Canyon or Capitol Reef. If Pando shows us that age can hide within a massive number, the next destination is even stranger. A tree that carries two completely different ages at the very same time. 3. Old Tjikko, Sweden. When hearing about a tree that is nearly 10,000 years old, most of us would imagine a colossal trunk, roots gripping deep into the earth, with a canopy that blankets the entire sky. But when you arrive in the freezing mountains of Sweden, what you see might leave you astonished. Before your eyes is just a small, scrubby Norway spruce, under 5 meters tall, standing solitary amidst a vast, snow-covered plateau. It looks nothing like an ancient being. And in fact, that observation is not entirely wrong. The visible trunk you see with your own eyes is only about a few centuries old. The secret to this organism's longevity lies in the invisible world beneath the soil. The root system of this tree has continuously grown and survived for the past 9,500 years. Scientists call this mechanism layering, a miraculous process of self-regeneration. Whenever the trunk above ground ages and dies due to the harsh Nordic weather, the roots below remain alive. From that ancient root system, a new trunk shoots up, starting a new life cycle from the exact same old energy source. This root system has quietly held its ground here since the last ice age, making Old Tjikko the oldest known vegetative clonal tree in the world. Old Tjikko's survival secret is a philosophy of quiet yet persistent living. It does not try to grow massive to battle the blizzards. Instead, it chooses to maintain a humble appearance, continuously renewing itself from deep within Mother Earth to pass through time. If you want to witness this living paradox with your own eyes, your journey will be somewhat more challenging than the previous 2 locations. Old Tjikko is located deep within Fullafjellet National Park in central Sweden, right next to the Norwegian border. To reach the tree, you will have to complete a hike of about 6 kilometers from the nearest parking point. This trail is of moderate difficulty, requiring a stable level of physical fitness, proper hiking boots, and clothing warm enough to handle sudden mountain winds. This will be an excellent experience if the older travelers in your family enjoy active movement and want to fully immerse themselves in the pristine nature of Scandinavia. The only ideal time to plan this trip is during the summer from June to August. In winter, the entire area is buried under thick snow. The roads become extremely dangerous, and the trekking trail is nearly impossible to navigate. While old Tjikko has survived thousands of years by continuously changing its form, our next stop chose a completely opposite approach, evading the flow of time by refusing all change, hiding within an ancient churchyard in Wales. 4. Llangernyw Yew, Wales, UK. Leaving the freezing Nordics, our next stop brings us to a peaceful village in North Wales, United Kingdom. Here, the age of the organism is not hidden in the wild, but stands right in the heart of a human community, quietly witnessing the ebbs and flows of history. In the courtyard of an ancient grey stone church named St. Digon's, there is a colossal yew tree with lush, vibrant green foliage all year round. Scientists estimate it has lived here for about 4,000 to 500 years. Imagine that when this medieval church was built beside it, the tree was already an elder over 2,000 years old. It took root during the Bronze Age, standing there watching empires rise and fall, and generations of villagers being born, growing old, and being laid to rest right beneath its shade. The secret to the yew's longevity lies in a very special biological capability. The trunk can hollow itself out. When the tree reaches a certain age, the wood at the center of the trunk naturally decays, creating a massive void. However, this does not kill the tree. Instead, the large outer branches send roots downward into the soil inside that hollow interior to feed themselves. The yew tree turns its own body into a fortress, defying all aging by living off its lost core. Because of its magnificent shape and unparalleled age, the Llangernyw Yew is tied to a haunting local legend. Welsh people pass down a story about an ancient spirit named Angelistor. It is said that every year on the night of October 31st, a somber voice echoes from within this ancient hollow trunk, reading out the names of the villagers who will pass away in the coming year. Although merely a piece of folklore, it has cloaked the tree in a sacred myth, ensuring that no one has dared to desecrate or harm a single leaf of the elder tree for centuries. Completely unlike the 6-kilometer trekking challenge in Sweden, visiting the Llangernyw Yew is much easier and more leisurely. The village of Llangernyw is located in Conwy, North Wales, making it highly accessible by car. The tree sits right within the church grounds, with no admission fee and no strict barriers. The walking path from the gate into the courtyard is flat and well shaded, highly ideal for older travelers seeking a gentle trip that combines nature appreciation with historical exploration. You can easily include this destination in a slow-paced road trip through the ancient English countryside, or combine it with a visit to the massive Conwy Castle, located not far away. Since it is an evergreen tree situated in a temperate climate, you can visit this ancient yew at any time of the year. Summer brings a lush, vibrant green atmosphere, while autumn and winter offer a serene, solemn beauty like an old painting. From a quiet churchyard in Wales, our journey continues across the ocean to a much harsher land, where another ancient tree has become a living witness to history, revered as a national treasure of one of the oldest civilizations on Earth. 5 Sarv-e Abarkuh, Iran. In the middle of a desert town filled with sun and sand in central Iran, there is an organism that has stood firm for 5 millennia. It is a colossal Mediterranean cypress, over 25 meters tall, with a wide canopy shading an entire area. Scientists estimate this elder tree has lived for about 4,000 to 5,000 years. This means that when the final stones of the Great Pyramid of Giza were being laid down, this cypress had already begun to sprout. It existed before the ancient Persian Empire even formed, quietly witnessing the rise and fall of countless dynasties along the legendary Silk Road. The secret to the Sarv-e Abarkuh cypress surviving all this time is the incredible adaptation of its roots. They not only spread wide, but also plunge dozens of meters deep into the earth to gather every tiny drop of groundwater hidden beneath the sand. The cypress leaves themselves have a small, scale-like structure which minimizes water loss under the scorching heat. The cypress chooses to live at a slower pace, consuming minimal energy in exchange for longevity. Tied to the magnificent age of this elder tree are sacred religious legends. The people of Iran believe that Zoroaster himself, the ancient prophet and founder of Zoroastrianism, planted this tree with his own hands. For the locals, the cypress is not just a plant, it is a soul, a sacred thread connecting the past to the present. To this day, the elder tree is strictly protected by an outer fence to prevent human interference. Completely unlike the organisms hidden deep in wild forests, this cypress sits right within a residential neighborhood of Abarkuh city, Yazd province, making it highly accessible by car. The site is located right on the heritage route connecting the famous tourist cities of Yazd and Isfahan. You can easily combine a visit to the elder tree with exploring ancient adobe architecture or the unique Kanat underground aqueduct systems of the Iranian desert. However, there is an important practical note. Due to specific visa regulations and political situations, traveling to Iran requires you to thoroughly research information from reputable travel agencies. If traveling here poses difficulties, you can still choose to admire similar ancient cypress trees, though slightly younger, in Mediterranean countries like Greece or Italy. Best time to visit this desert region is during spring, from March to May, or autumn, from September to November, when the weather is at its coolest and most pleasant. Up until now, all the ancient organisms we have encountered have driven their roots deep into the earth. But our next stop will completely break that rule, as we must dive deep to the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea to find what could be the oldest living organism on the planet. 6. Posidonia oceanica, Ibiza, Spain. Hidden beneath the clear blue waters of Ibiza, Spain's most famous party island, lies what could be considered the oldest living organism on the planet. It is not a tree, but a colossal seagrass meadow named Posidonia oceanica. This meadow stretches nearly 15 kilometers across the Mediterranean seabed, connecting the two islands of Ibiza and Formentera. Scientists estimate its age to be over 100,000 years. By the time this meadow began to grow, modern humans had not even set foot in Europe. The secret to Posidonia oceanica's immortality lies in its extraordinary capacity for clonal reproduction. They continuously create clones of themselves through rhizomes that creep beneath the marine sand. The meadow grows extremely slowly, just a few centimeters each year, but it is completely continuous with no signs of stopping. Over tens of thousands of years, this network has self-replicated to form a single organism with a lifespan that challenges all conventional biological limits. Not only ancient, this seagrass meadow also acts as a massive green lung for the Mediterranean. They absorb huge amounts of carbon dioxide and constantly release oxygen, filtering and purifying the water. The very presence of this great meadow is the reason why the seawater around Ibiza possesses a crystal-clear turquoise color, a distinct feature rarely found elsewhere. To witness this 100,000-year-old organism with your own eyes, your experience will revolve around ocean activities. You will need to travel to the islands of Ibiza or Formentera in the Balearic Islands, Spain. The best way to approach the meadow is by joining snorkeling or scuba diving tours, which are widely organized here. This experience does not demand too much physical stamina or rigorous preparation, like mountain trekking, making it highly suitable for older travelers who love the ocean and seek a gentle, relaxing experience. You can easily integrate this activity into a standard beach vacation with your family. The most ideal time to visit is during summer, from June to August. This is when the seawater is warm, the waves are calm, and underwater visibility reaches its peak, allowing you to fully observe the lush green meadows swaying beneath the ocean floor. From the deep, cool world of the Mediterranean seabed, the final stop of our journey will bring us back to dry land, to one of the most desolate and ancient deserts in the world, where a bizarre plant species is challenging every definition of life. 7. Welwitschia mirabilis, Namibia. On the barren red sands of the Namib Desert, one of the oldest and harshest wildernesses on the planet, exists a plant with one of the most bizarre appearances in the world. People call it Welwitschia mirabilis. Viewed from afar, this organism looks like a massive pile of dry, tangled and shredded leaves lying flat on the sand. But the astonishing thing is, throughout its lifespan, lasting from 1,500 to 2,000 years, the Welwitschia plant grows only 2 leaves. These 2 leaves never shed. They continuously grow longer over the years. Under the destruction of fierce desert winds, those 2 leaves are ripped into multiple long strips, twisting together to create a strange shape that resembles a stranded octopus in the middle of the desert. The secret to Welwitschia surviving for thousands of years in a place with almost no rain is the art of gathering moisture from fog. The Namib Desert sits right by the ocean, so every night cold air currents from the sea sweep inland, creating dense blankets of fog. On the 2 giant leaves of the Welwitschia are millions of tiny stomata, capable of opening up to directly absorb these rare nightly dewdrops. The plant does not need rain from the sky. It sustains life by drinking desert fog through the centuries. To witness this resilient plant with your own eyes, your journey will be a true adventure into the heart of Africa's wild nature. The most ancient Welwitschia individuals are located within the Namib National Park, or the outskirts of the coastal town of Swakopmund, Namibia. Due to the desert terrain consisting entirely of sand and rock, travel strictly requires the use of 4-wheel drive 4x4 vehicles. For older travelers, the safest and most complete way is to book all-inclusive safari tours accompanied by a local guide. They are not only familiar with the routes, but also know the exact locations of the oldest elder plants. You can easily combine this trip with a visit to the colossal red sand dunes at Sossusvlei, or the world-famous Dead Tree Valley of Diedvlei. The most ideal time to visit the Namib Desert is from May to October. This is Namibia's dry season, when daytime temperatures are not too scorching and the air is crisp, making it highly favorable for travel and photography. The Methuselah tree in California was already thousands of years old when humans began placing the very first stones to build the ancient Stonehenge. The colossal organism Pando had quietly taken root before our ancestors even invented writing, and the tiny spruce tree, old Tjikko, resiliently endured an entire ice age of the earth. We usually measure our lives in decades, but these organisms measure their existence in millennia. At some point in life, having gone through enough ups and downs, we begin to look deeper into time and into the finitude of a human lifespan. Standing next to an organism that has lived through tens of thousands of years of history always brings a very strange feeling. It does not make us feel small or meaningless. On the contrary, it brings a sense of peace, a feeling of being connected to something greater and more eternal than a short human life. These organisms are living proof that, whether by pulling back to adapt or powerfully reviving after raging wildfires, life always finds its way. And any of us can embark on a journey of our own to stand beside these magnificent witnesses. If you could choose one destination from today's journey, where would you most want to set foot to stand beside these witnesses of time? Please share with me in the comments below. Thank you for spending your time accompanying me through the millennia of life. If you love deep stories about nature and journeys, please hit the subscribe button to continue exploring the next wonders of the world with me. Goodbye, and see you in the next videos.